YouTube, it's your girl Razia J, and I'm back with another video. If this is the very first time that you're seeing my face and you landed on one of my videos, I ask that you pause this video right here, hit that subscribe button, come back, watch the video, and if you like what you hear, share it with your friends, leave a comment, and just, do life with me. Do life with me. And if you have been watching my videos for a while, I just want to say thank you so much for the continual support. It means the world to me. I can't thank you guys enough for rocking with me, for watching my videos, for leaving me comments, for reaching out to me in my DMs, and for just encouraging me on my journey. A little tidbit about this channel. This channel is where my faith, my family, and social work intersect. So if you're interested in any three of those topics, or just interested in doing life with me, I ask that you just join the tribe. As always, you can subscribe, and you can also follow me on social media. You can follow me on Instagram. My name is Razia J, or you can find me on Facebook or Twitter or any of the likes. Just look for Razia J and I will pop up. Before we get into today's video though, I just want to let you guys know that I made it. 3 weeks down, only a few more to go. I graduate in May, and I definitely have a mental countdown going on. This week, I want to talk about the beauty of having a support system when you're going through an MSW program. I think it's beautiful to have a support system regardless of where you are in life, but it's equally as important to have one when you're going through a rigorous program in graduate school. I'm an MSW student, so I can only speak from that lens. But guys, I promise you, this video is going to be good. And if you want to hear more about curating, finding, or engulfing yourself in a support system, stay tuned. So yeah, guys, like I was saying before, this video is about finding your support system. So as you guys know, I am an MSW student, and I have been a student for 3 weeks now. And it has been challenging. The first 2 weeks, I found myself really lagging behind in my classwork because I had a lot of other things that I was focusing on. You guys can catch that update right here if you want to know what was going on in the first 2 weeks. And thankfully, now I am on the other side of that hurdle, and I'm able to really take in grad school for what it is. And one of the first things I realized this week is that it's a lot of work. So whoever told us that grad school was going to be a piece of cake, it was going to be easy, it was going to be the best time of our lives because we're focusing on the things that we as students like the most in the academic setting, lied. They lied. They lied. As much as I love social work and I love macro social work, and I'm taking classes that speaks to that, I realized this week that I was struggling. I'm part of a lovely group that has not only students, but they have women in the profession already. And one of the things that I realized that was lacking out there was just a support system for students. It's great to be engulfed in a community with other social workers. It's beautiful to hear their stories and pull on their own personal journeys and where they are right now as inspiration of what we can aspire to be. But in the moment, we need support. And I was just like, you know what? I'm going to start a support group because we need it. Sis needed it. I am sis and I needed it. So I was just like sitting back like, how can I do this? How can I start a support group? I really thought it was going to be like 5 to 10 women or males, in the social work field that are current MSW students and even BSW students because they need support too. To just come together and like do sessions where we talk about our classes. If we're in similar classes, we bounce ideas off of each other. We vent because there's a lot of venting in the social work field. And we just take time to reflect and to do a little bit of self-care. And what I realized is there was no such space. So I looked at myself and I was like, well, Mrs. Advocate, it's time to advocate not only for yourself but other social work students who need it. So I created a space that is safe, it is empowering, And it's what we as MSW, BSW students need in the moment. Definitely in the middle of a pandemic. And I don't know about anybody who went to school in a pandemic. They probably have passed on already. But it is hard to navigate the things that you have to do for school and just life. There's a lot of factors that's playing in your minds. If you are a student and you are in a traditional field placement, you're wondering, will I get COVID? If you are a parent and your kids are off to school, you're wondering, will they get COVID? If you are working and going to school, you're wondering, can I balance all of these things? And I really started to realize that there was a lack of support. And when I talk to people who are already social workers, they give me great advice. I'm not knocking them. I'm thankful for the social workers in my circle, but they're not current students. So they're not understanding to an extent what we're going through. And just speaking to the students that joined my support group this week alone, I realized that our time as students is very, very, very different. We are in very unique times. And if grad school wasn't a stressor enough, we have other things that are adding to that, and it's really just a lot. So I wanted to talk about why we need support. We need support because you can't do it by yourself. Whether you're a social work student, whether you are just a regular person at work, whether you are a stay-at-home mom, whether you are a friend or a foe, you can't do it by yourself. And if you lie to yourself and tell yourself, I can do it by myself, I don't need nobody, you're going to realize sooner rather than later, or later rather than sooner, whichever way it crumbles, that life was not meant to be done alone. Number two, I learn by bouncing things off of other people. I don't know about anybody else here, but when I get into conversations that are just chilled, non-traditional, not in a classroom setting, just conversations, whether they're via text, Zoom, a phone call at the grocery store, I learn so much more and I retain a lot. And it's through those conversations that I realize that I do know what I'm talking about. Like I am grasping the concepts that I'm learning in school. And I don't need to be so hard on myself. Sometimes when we're in the classroom setting, we want to be that perfect student. I was learning in one of my classes about how the dynamics of education is, right? How students are the empty vessels and the professors are the knowledgeable ones that are filling us up with knowledge. And the truth is that's not the case. Professors and students should balance the knowledge that they're bringing into their classroom settings. And I love the fact that just conversating with people is showing me that, yo, you know some things, you know a thing or two. Number three, man, you need to decompress. I don't know about anybody else, but I know for me, I need to decompress. Whether you are in a traditional field placement, whether you are in the clinical setting, whether you are in the meso or the macro, our work as social workers to be is challenging because you are dealing with social problems. And social problems are not cakewalks. They're serious things, whether they're racism, human trafficking, homelessness. We are dealing with very important problems. And sometimes when you're dealing with those problems, you can become blinded to the very things that's going on in your community or in your home that you lose focus. So I think sometimes we just need to decompress and just chill out, whether it's with a glass of wine or with a funny movie or if it's with something mindless. I am a firm believer of doing mindless things. For me, I can scroll TikTok for hours on end and feel like I did something great for the day. Why? Because it's mindless. I'm laughing, I'm gaining knowledge, and I'm also just allowing my mind to be free for a moment. And we need to decompress. Number four, we need support because only other students would know what we're going through. So that paper you had to write last week and that I'm writing this week, you can shed some knowledge on some things that you probably found, some articles you probably came across, because although I am good at research, I can't find anything when I need to write a paper when I need to write a paper, I'm struggling. And sometimes just in asking fellow students like, yo, were you able to find something on X, Y, and Z? They're able to point you in that right direction. Like, yeah, I found that. And it's cool. It's pretty cool. Number 5, man. Girls and guys just want to have fun. Now, number 5, all seriousness, is networking. Networking. We are going to be colleagues one day. So whether you live in Atlanta and I live in New York, you live in Hawaii, or you live in California, we are going to be colleagues one day. And it is very important to build a network with your colleagues. One of the things that I really started doing when I was at Salisbury University was building networks. So I have professors that I still keep in contact with. I'm not talking to them every day, but I will check in on them. They will check in on me. I have classmates that I would check in on and they would check in on me. And I know that I am building my professional network. So when I am a social worker, let's say I'm dealing with some things such as homelessness. I know someone who is passionate about that. And all I gotta do is pull out my phone, send an email, send a text, make a phone call, and I'll have resources at my disposal. So when I started thinking about a support group, I started thinking about the benefits that we can get from them as social work students. And these are the things that stuck out to me. And one of the very big ones that's really important to me is number 5, creating a healthy network with other professionals, not just social workers, but in this context, it is social workers. But I also want a healthy professional network with educators, with licensed counselors, with marriage and family therapists, and you name it, nurses. I have all types of friends, and I'm happy that we're all not doing the same things, because then we're able to see things in different lenses. But as a student, I think it's very important to build your network, build your database of who you know, why you know them, and what they're good at, and create that foundation that when you do transition from student to professional, that you're already set up for success. Everything I do, I try to look at it from the lens of setting myself up for success. It's not just to benefit Razia, but it's to benefit the population that I'm going to work in. And as a future macro level social worker, it's very important that I know people who know people, and maybe know some more people who know people. So this video was just really to remind you that it's okay to find a support system, it's okay to need a support system, and it's okay to create a support system if there's not one out there for the group that you're looking for. I wanted to create a safe space for Black and brown social work students, because believe what you want to believe, our journey as students is totally different. I was vlogging this week, and it hit me like a ton of bricks about 2 circumstances that happened to me as a student at Salisbury, and how it was different for me versus my Caucasian counterparts. And it's okay, right? It's okay, because I'm a big girl and I'm good at advocating and speaking up for myself, which is a very good thing. So I felt like I wanted to create a space that was safe, a space that was just for people who look like me, whether you're a male or female or a they. I wanted it to be a space that we felt heard and we felt understood without being too cautious of what we say. So for me personally, I created a support group for Black social work students. And if you identify as Black and brown and you are currently a BSW or MSW student and you would like to tap into that support group that I created, the link will be down below. I hope that this support group doesn't stop with my graduating class, but that we're able to partner with mentors to help future BSW, MSW students. So until next time, I hope this video gave you a little bit of ease of creating things and finding the things that you need and advocating for yourself and knowing that it's okay to need support. It doesn't matter if you are a social work student like me or if you are doing other things with your life and you need support. Remember, it's okay to have a team. It's okay to have people rooting for you. It's okay to have people in your circle. If you are looking for a community, whether you're a social work student or not, and you want to find out more about community and how we connect with people, whether it's virtually or whether it's in person, feel free to reach out to me on Instagram, send me a DM, and I would love to talk through that with you, because I'm very, very, very passionate about people finding their people and connecting with people, whether that is professionally or personally. I want us all to have a support team that works for us. And until next time, peace, love, and Jesus.